TikTok. We will be getting Neil and Courtney on here in a second on TikTok. And let's see. We are also up on, there we go, on YouTube at Watch AMS. That's also recorded there. It's kept for posterity. It just said to say hi to Courtney. I'm like, I don't want to say hi. I'd like to get Courtney on live. I'm like, there we go. There's my invite button. Okay. All right. So as soon as this pops up, I'm going to mute the mic on this part so it doesn't echo. There we go. Couple of disclaimers. Neil, I don't know. You're not on here yet. So see if you can get onto the TikTok. Neil is sick. Nick is Seal. No, Neil is sick. I'm a little bit under the weather today. So if you want to go watch his puny face, it's at watchams.com or Facebook at amspublicgroup.com. And, all right, let's see.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the invite. It didn't show up yet.
All right, let's see.
Do you need meds, Neil, or are you not to that point yet?
No, it's probably just a virus like everybody else.
I know. Well,
you know where to text if you need anything.
Yeah.
I'm off the rest of the week, so I can send in whatever.
No worries.
All right. I don't know how. There we go. Hold on. It said you joined and then I lost you. All right. Well, we're going to do this for now. We're just going to keep going. And then put a comment in there for me, Neil, and see if I can. There we go. Never mind. I got you.
All right. There it is.
Perfect. Awesome. There we go. So let me. Now all is right with the world. All right. I gave Amanda the wave link too, so we'll see if she comes in. I should have put it in the AMS PG, but I know Amanda's off today. From now on, it'll usually go into Slack. All right. We are going slow today. You know why? Because I'm real sore and my brain is still foggy. You know that cloud guy, the emoji with the cloud? Yeah, that's totally it right there. That's me. Yeah. All right. So welcome. This is our GLP1 chat. We are all from Active Medical Solutions, which is a telehealth practice. We hop on here once a week on Tuesdays at 1. We have moved ourselves to Tuesday, which actually works way better for my schedule. I do lots of video content on Tuesday. Thank God. Because sitting in front of here, I mean, although I like it, connection timed out. Oh, how come? So what happened? Hold on. Neil, you went away.
You disconnected me.
What the hell? I didn't touch anything. I've just been talking. My hands were right here. Jazz hands over here, man. So, hey to everybody. Let me do this quick disclaimer. We need to get Neil's little face up here so you can follow him on TikTok. AMS Public Group is our interactive Facebook group. It is public, even if you're not in our states. I'm going to do this early today. If you are in our states, you can check out amstelehealth.com to look at the states that we do serve patients in. We are getting some more, but in process. It's not an instant fix for sure. Hey to all the regulars. It's awesome.
State boards are not quick.
Yes, the state board's kind of, hey, you want a license? Okay. Let me just back it down and chill. All right, let's grab.
Especially
we got
New York.
Amanda on here too. Look at this. Amanda. We got the peanut gallery. What'd you say?
It took me a while to figure it out. I kept doing weird things.
That's okay. I can't get Neil on TikTok. So in the background, you will hear Neil and Amanda. Amanda, what's your TikTok name? So that way we can, you should put a sticker on your screen to let people know what you're talking about when they come in. So that would be awesome. How do I do that?
Oh.
Anyone have an idea? Can you talk about weaning off to get pregnant? I have PCOS. Do you think I will gain it back? Oh, that's a tough call because you're definitely... Okay. Oh, let me do my disclaimer. This is not medical advice. This is a fun chat. Don't get your med advice from TikTok. Go to your actual provider. If you want to come to us, go to AMS Telehealth. We'll get you started within 24 hours. Now, weaning off to get pregnant. Definitely good idea to wean off to get pregnant. because otherwise you have Manjaro babies. And we've had a few because with the PCOS treatment, people get regular and then, oh, damn, check that out. It's blue. So it's got a line. It's got too many lines. How many lines is that? So as far as gaining the weight back, if you're getting pregnant, it's a weird thing, right? Because you don't want to gain 100 pounds when you get pregnant. But you also don't want to, you don't want to limit, you're not going to diet, right? You're going to switch to food quality. That's an interesting point. Okay, let me ask the peanut gallery here. Because if we have people who get pregnant or go off to get pregnant, that would be a fantastic time for them to stay with us, stay on metformin, and work on that food quality and continue with the habits and the community interaction and education, because you have to work harder because you don't have the quiet brain from the GLP-1. You don't want to gain 100 pounds. Yes, you might gain 30, 40, whatever, depending on your weight, your starting weight with pregnancy. So anyway, that's a thought. I never really thought much about that people need more guidance in pregnancy than like on a med, on a GLP-1, when I say on a med. Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, and your OB-GYN doesn't really have time to guide you on that. I mean, they're just going to tell you, eat healthy. I mean,
here's your weight gain range, eat healthy. Okay.
Yeah,
if I could do that, I wouldn't
they
be
don't
in
have
this
time in a visit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got out of my GYN visit today in half the time it took me to schedule a DEXA scan and a mammogram. That's how, I was in, out, done. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Didn't even buy me dinner first.
If you have gestational diabetes, they might send you to like a gestational diabetes nutrition counselor. And even with that, I went when I was pregnant with my twins. It helped some, but it's very different because you've got to get in a certain amount of calories. Like I had to try to balance getting in 3,600 calories a day without making my blood sugar spike. That was hard. Like I had no room.
Yeah. Now, what did they base that 3,600 on?
My pre-pregnancy weight and caloric intake need, and then to support 2 growing fetuses, and that increased intake that was needed.
Okay. Yeah, Kelsey said she's the one who asked, I was pre-diabetic and thus meds helped me to get to a 5.6 A1C, which is awesome, which is great. Fantastic.
I think the biggest thing, if you don't want to put on loads and loads of weight, is that while you're on the medicine, before you come off it, to try to make sure you're making those lifestyle type changes, focusing on protein, quality sources of foods, meal prepping, stuff to kind of set yourself up for success. If you've changed nothing, you're going to go right back to your old habits and it's all coming back. Just any diet, whether any fad diet, keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, you go back to normal, it's all coming back.
Yeah. And if you do have issues like true eating disorder issues, like binge eating disorder, anorexia, bulimia, God forbid, you've got to see someone qualified to treat those disorders. Because number one, you do not want to have those in pregnancy. You don't want to have them, period. Like you're worth it. So is your baby. We are not qualified to treat that in our practice. We will treat disordered eating behaviors because that's kind of what got us all here, but once you're in that full blown anorexia, bulimia, that spectrum, you've got to get help, especially with the electrolyte abnormalities that occur. We always talk about the electrolytes and such in like normal life. But if you're severely restricting, or which brings me to one of the other posts on here, if you're severely restricting, you've got to watch your electrolytes, because it can kill you. Yeah. I think
she asked about staying on metformin. I would advise staying on metformin, of course, be in consultation with your OB-GYN, but most that I have heard from, especially in the instance of PCOS, would recommend to go ahead and stay on the metformin.
I agree. It's not so much, it will help with appetite, but I'd stay on it for the PCOS control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially if it works for you.
Agreed. Yeah. Somebody want to grab Crazy Coupon Clipping Mom, which I think that's fantastic.
I love it. Oh,
so second dose of Ozempic this morning. When will I see results? I've barely been eating. I'm impatient.
hang in there. And impatience has no place in weight loss. Even with these medications, we did not gain this weight impatiently for most of us. And it's, if you look at the studies, the initial doses of all of the medications, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, those initial doses really did not produce a lot of weight loss, and it's going to take time to get up to an optimal dose. So although some people lose weight very quickly, Dr. Mo lost weight right from the start. Amanda and myself, it took over 3 months before I saw anything significant without white knuckling it, and to get up to that third dose. So just hang in there. There is no rhyme or reason as to when you'll see results. You may see it the first month. It may take you 3 months. It may take you 6 months to see any significant results. Just hang in there because it does work.
Yeah. Oh, Join Fridays is here. Hi, guys. Join Fridays is another telehealth practice out there. They're very good from everything I've heard. I've never used them, obviously, since we run our own. But rising tide lifts all boats, and I have no problem getting people. There are plenty of patients for every freaking practice out there. If everyone showed up at all of our doors, we'd be like, help. So there are plenty of patients for all of us. So find a good provider that you can communicate with, and go from there. All right. Oh, does somebody have up the chat? I don't have the chat up. What is wrong with me?
Nothing.
You know what? My
Nothing on
brain
our
is
chat
split.
yet. Just TikTok
Okay.
stuff.
No
So,
haters yet? No haters on the
Not
no
yet.
haters on the chat.
Pamela's asking, could the Axtel compound med be a little different than the Lilly injection from pharmacy? The active ingredient is the same. Otherwise, they are different. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to sell it. Axtel adds B12, I believe, to theirs. So it's technically a different medication. So that's really the only difference. Otherwise, the active ingredient, the actual thing you care about and you're paying for, is the same.
Agreed. Now, with a caveat, we do have patients who'll say, "Oh my God, Axtel, I don't get anything from. Empower works great," and then the next day we'll get another text saying, "Empower sucks. Axtel's great." So then they test them and they give us the test results.
Yeah.
So they're very open and honest with us on the purity. The sterility is assumed. That is something we have to take for granted. So, but they give us reports on potency. I can't see. It's a rhyme. I don't know why some people have a better result on one than another.
I mean, I saw when Zepbound first came out, when people were on their first month of Zepbound after switching from Mounjaro, and they were complaining that they were no longer losing weight, but they had better appetite control. So it's literally the same thing with a different label on it, and people still thought it was different. So, it's either time to go up. Is it just that you just kind of happen to be in a lull, with your weight loss? Do we need to change something else, whether it be diet, quality, amounts, dose, add something? Like, there's lots of other possibilities, or you just need to poop.
Or, our bodies are dynamic, and we've all shared that from the exact same box of medications, 1 week is very different from the next week. And 1 week, I feel like I can hardly eat anything or minimal amounts. And the next week, I am ravenous and think my medication's not working at all until it wears off and I have a snack in the grocery store. But I think a lot of it is our bodies are dynamic, even though the medication is stable.
Yeah, Pamela replied, "I'm not having the same results as last year at the same milligrams." And it really just could be it's time to go up once you've been on it for a long time. Now I say that, right? This morning I did a 5 milligram grab and stab, aka Mounjaro, out of the Fortnite lunchbox. And oh shoot, my husband needed the compounder today. I was supposed to tell him how many units. I forgot. Anyway, my bad. I'm very self-absorbed today. That's a medal, and I'm very self-absorbed. And very sore. But I am so nauseated today. Took it yesterday morning, normal, right? 5 milligrams. So nauseated. I'm like that weird nauseated, hungry. I kind of feel like crap, but don't want to eat anything. When I eat something, I feel worse. Like that's what I feel like today. Great. But it's 5 milligrams. And last week, 5 milligrams was fine last week. The week before, I had to do 7.5 because I was eating everything, including the pantry door. Like it was bad. So it might just be time to go up. Sort of. Ooh, that's crazy. So Southern Mama said, I'm on my second dose of 5 milligrams of Manjaro and I've had horrible nausea and diarrhea. Will that go away? We don't see very many people with the diarrhea spectrum on Manjaro. Check your fat content in your food. Do you have a gallbladder? Because I wonder if that makes it. Because I know normally, your stools are softer without. We got to talk about poop, right? That's all we do. We talk about lots of poop. Got to talk about the poop, man. I'm missing a couple messages, but will it go away? The question is, so in 6 months, most of the side effects went away, but we don't want people dealing with that much nausea and diarrhea for 6 months. Like that's not really acceptable if you're our patient. Still have your gallbladder. I would look at fat content in the food. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Because that much nausea and diarrhea, I'd think.
Or just like the food itself you're eating, like just kind of do a food diary and see if there's something specific and try to eliminate it. Or it might just be the med itself, especially if it's only the second dose. It might be that it's just kind of built up in your body a little bit. But yeah, like you're saying, it does typically go away.
Yep, Maribel said, I've seen no gallbladder have a higher incidence of diarrhea. Hey, look at that. My educated guess paid off. My highly indebted educated guess. Oh, thank you guys for liking the live. Lots of likes help. 5 milligram third dose, but last year lost a lot on 5. Yeah, you know what? And you can try. That's from Pamela, who we're having kind of a stallish or not feeling the same effects. You can go up to maybe 6 or 7 and see. You're like, oh, never mind. I think this feels better, and see if it's just time to go up. And then that begs the question: will it we keep having to go up? So, Amanda, you're on the shortage. You're on the 7.5 end, right? Like, are you? Because Courtney, you're on Wegovy now, right?
I switched.
Okay, and Amanda, you're on compound tirzepatide 7.5, right? 10. Okay, so what are your thoughts? This is what was my question. At the high dose of 10, high-ish. I mean, not high, right? Are you afraid that you will just have to keep going up over time? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. I can't hear you. I don't. We got no sound. Amanda has no sound. And I don't know why. Okay. And I can't get my chat up. So Amanda, if I put you in chat, I don't know. I can't get the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I muted it and unmuted it, and now it's like 10 times as loud for me. And okay, I'm back. Now I can contribute. No, so I was all the way up to 15 when I was on the original Manjaro. So 15 for me is like the shut it down dose. I tolerated it fine. I didn't vomit. So I'm probably could go higher. But when I went down to 5, I also I went from 15 to 5 because of shortage in July. And I did not gain weight. So, I mean, I do think it's pretty flexible. It just depends on what you're trying to get out of it at that time, if that makes sense. I mean,
I think I think that's perfect. Courtney, what dose are you on Wegovy?
Like 0.75. I'm kind of titrating up.
Okay. How is it? Courtney switched from tirzepatide.
Yeah, last week was really, really good. I mean, I did have a bit more side effects of nausea, but the appetite suppression was really good. Food noise was not crazy. I mean, food noise wasn't any more crazy. I still wanted the Reese's peanut butter egg, but I managed to eat one, even though there were like 3 in my house. I gave the rest away. Last night I worked an overnight shift, which is notorious for me eating poorly because I feel like I should treat myself because I'm in a poor, pitiful me state. And I left the infamous Rice Krispies sitting on the desk when I left work this morning. I didn't take it with me, which is, and they're really, really good. And that was yesterday was day 7. I didn't take my dose before I went to work because I didn't want to have side effects. So I took it when I got home. So yesterday was the end of the week, the first week of Wegovy, and I was able to leave a really nice treat sitting on the desk. So far, I'm having really good results switching. We'll see. I hope that lasts.
But that's also after quite some time of learning new behaviors too. So I wonder, would you have as good a results had you started on Wegovy?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because
Your husband did.
yeah, my husband did. He's also been always able to walk away from foods that he really likes. Like
Mm.
if it's not the time to eat them, he doesn't have that trigger that I necessarily have. When my brain flips to I'm going to eat the treat, I want the treat, there's no stopping that. There just isn't. Once that flip has switched, it's done. I'm going to eat it if it's there. Until medication. And now I can, like I said, I grabbed the Rice Krispie treat when I was in the lounge last night and then left it sitting on the desk when I left work this morning instead of taking it with me.
Ooh, okay. All right, lots more questions.
Okay.
Nicole Schmidt, on the 7th week of compounded semaglutide and only lost 2 pounds. Do I keep going? I am so lost. Absolutely, I would keep going. Depending on what dose you're at, it might just be time to go up. On 7th week, if you're following the traditional schedule, you're only on 0.5, and the real weight loss doses are like 1.7, 2.4. So you got some ways to go. There may be some other things you can do to kind of help that. If you're, depending on what the problem is with you, are you not getting enough protein? Are you not moving? Are you not getting well hydrated, sleeping enough? Is your stress level through the roof? So there's some other issues that could be causing the problem there. But my guess is your dose needs higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 7 weeks traditionally is month 2, and like Courtney said, like this is a long ass game. I mean, let's call it what it is. This is a marathon. This is an Ironman. This is not a sprint. This isn't getting ready. Somebody asked me yesterday on Reddit if we prescribed Adderall, which reminded me of the phentermine thing, because I see on social media sometimes, oh, I can't get a GLP-1, so I'm going on phentermine, and I'm like, not the same. Like this isn't a 3-week I need to fit into a dress. This is a 30-year I need to live my life. So I know it's hard, and I'm the least patient human out there, so I get it. I want results, and I want them yesterday. Yesterday would be nice. Thank you very much.
Also, I have one of our newer patients that's a local here. She rides with me at the barn. She's active. She's been on Contrave, max dose, phentermine, all that for I think more than a year with 0 results. She's already dropped over 25 pounds. She already has to buy new riding clothes. I told her when I got her on it, said, don't be mad. And she needs this, and it's so good for her, and I'm already watching her be so much happier. And yeah, it's great. It's great
So's the
because
horse.
yeah, well, no, she has a half Clydesdale. So
Okay, fine. He's fine.
yeah, she's fine. But yeah, but no, I mean, she's 6 feet tall. She needs a big horse. But yeah, it's amazing how much better that they work is, I guess, where I'm going with that. The Contrave, metformin, I think we can still use them as add-ons, maintenance, all that stuff, but they
Right, or if
just
you can't take it, I
do
mean, if you have
not.
a history of medullary
Yeah,
thyroid carcinoma,
but
sorry,
they just don't do what these do.
Yep,
They just don't.
agreed. Tiffany said, on 10 milligrams at goal, have a few pens left, have a box of 5. Can I go down that much if shortage keeps up? Yes. What did they say the maintenance doses for Manjaro are, or Zepbound? 5,
10,
They
15?
called it
10,
5, 10,
15?
15, but they don't
Yeah.
really. She even said they don't have any basis for
There's
that.
no
It's just
basis. They just
what was
pull it out of their butt.
researched. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just picked those 3 doses as these are the maintenance doses.
Yep. So technically you'd be dropping 1 maintenance dose, but realistically you can drop to whatever in our practice. So say you're our patient, you're like, listen, I just want to stay here. For me, in maintenance for over a year, sometimes I still have to go up because I need the control. I need the brain. My brain's a disaster. So I need help. That's the bottom line. So it really depends on, you can go down. this isn't like a narcotic where you're going to go through withdrawal, or alcohol where you go through withdrawal and it kills you, right? Or benzos where like you're on Xanax and you can't stop Xanax cold turkey. These drugs aren't like that. The rebound in weight is not a withdrawal, like Neil said. It's because, well, partially, right? In the studies, people tried to maintain the same habits, even went through nutritional counseling, were given a placebo and still gained weight. So it obviously has metabolic effects, but if you can't afford it, or if you can't take it for whatever reason, you get pregnant, you've got to learn to make the changes you can make, like with some metformin on board, because we've got to live life in the real world. So,
But also,
so the answer to that was yes.
I went from 15 to 5, and it wasn't awful. Like, yeah, I probably could eat more than I for sure could on 15, but it wasn't like going completely off.
Good.
So going from 10 to 5, I think would be totally tolerable, especially in maintenance. But I would certainly keep it up at every week.
Neil, this one's all you. Can you do keto and intermittent fasting while you're on the meds?
Yeah, you can do any type of diet you want. You can do keto, intermittent fasting, carnivore. The problem is if you don't think you can sustain that diet when you get off the medications and then you switch back to a normal traditional American diet, you're going to gain every ounce of weight back, probably then some.
Yeah,
So I like to choose something that's sustainable for when you do get off. So something like the Mediterranean style diet, a little higher in lean proteins, is sustainable for most people. I mean, you don't always have to eat like that every single day. You can still go out to dinner. You can still go to a party and eat, and then the majority of the time, 80-20, you're eating Mediterranean style. But yeah, I mean, so I've seen all kinds of people want to do that to get the weight off faster. Not something I would recommend. But you can.
I can't do low carb. Like when I did low carb inadvertently because I wasn't eating very much in the beginning and I was trying to get my protein in, so it ended up being low carb. I felt so bad. Like it just did not work well for me. And that's an anecdotal, right? It's an N of one.
I would say if it's a diet you've tried in the past and you couldn't adhere to it for one reason or another, like I know for myself, I don't do well trying to get keto or trying to go no carb because it flips that switch in my brain. And if I have any no foods, like something I tell myself, no, you absolutely can't have that, it flips that switch and I'm probably going to binge later. So if it's anything that you never could sustain before because of one reason or another, you probably can sustain it now on the medication. But again, like Neil said, long term, it's just going to revert back to old habits. So if it's a diet that you think you can sustain long term, whether that's macro based or Mediterranean or, no grain, what have you, let's get to something that is long term sustainable for you and let the medications help.
Yep. And Gail, I'm behind in comments. Sorry, I'm chatty today. Gail said she's on 10 milligrams and noticeable food noise returning. Plus, I've had weight gain despite no routine change. Should I increase dosage? As a practice, that is our definition of when it's time to go up. Like right there, food noise is increasing, weight loss is stalled. I haven't changed anything. I'm doing the pillars. I'm moving. I'm walking. I'm sleeping. My stress is chill. I'm getting my electrolytes, getting my protein. But the brain is crazy. Those are the ones where Neil yells at me and says, just freaking go up. I'm sick of hearing it. Okay, he leaves that part off, but they just freaking go up.
I say it in my head. It's up here.
I'm sure. I'm absolutely 100% certain. Yes, Neil's been giving me shit for 10 years. He's not going to stop soon. I'm on compound. How do you go from 5 to 6? That's a provider question. I didn't give our full disclaimer today.
That's impossible to answer because every pharmacy has different compounded medication concentrations. Some of the pharmacies have 2 concentrations that we use, which makes it near impossible. So yeah, that's something you have to ask your provider because it could be as little as going up 2 units. It could be you have to go up 30 units. It's impossible to tell.
Yeah, so you have to know how many units. And Courtney had a patient that the units on the syringe was not at all the standard units. When we say units, we mean 0.1 mLs, period, end of story. That is the medical definition of a unit, not an IU in vitamins. It's a different thing. But a unit of volume is 0.1 milliliters, which why don't we just freaking use that? But whatever, it's fine. So if you want to go from 5 to 6, technically, if you're going to use the same concentration, we could say, okay, you're going to go up 20%. But we don't know that because we don't know if when you order that, when you order enough, if it's going to go up for a 4-week supply, if you're depending on the concentration of the pharmacy. So yeah, that's just hopefully your provider has open communication. If it's us, we do shoot the group text and throw a picture in there. Put your, like, when you're our patient, we want you to put a picture, pull up what you pulled up in the syringe. Like we want pictures. We want all the things. I mean, give us a video of this is what I did. We don't care. It's fine. Text it over. So, did I finally Coach Katie? Oh, hi, Coach Katie. We have a nutrition coach on here. Awesome. I've only lost 20 pounds in 10 months. I think that's damn good.
I was going to say that is actually considered pretty progressive weight loss. That's about a half pound a week.
I couldn't lose that without it. That's for damn sure.
No, that's what I always
fantastic weight loss. It's just, when you compare yourself to other people on Reddit and on TikTok who lost 146 pounds their first year, like that's like the way outlier. Not most people are not doing that.
No, most people are sitting in the middle. But do you have suggestions? She did ask before that. I'm going in reverse. Apparently, I'm reading up. Do you have suggestions for people who are slow or low responders to tirzepatide? So Courtney and Amanda were, Courtney's over here on TikTok and on YouTube. Amanda's right here and Courtney's down there. So they were both slow responders. And, and I had a friend recently text me and tell me she's been on Mounjaro 15 for a year and hasn't lost any weight. And she was on Wegovy and lost, I think, 30 pounds on Wegovy and then switched to Mounjaro and lost nothing. And I said, you're eating too much. She said, well, I barely eat. I said, I beg to differ. Because it's not magic. These drugs are not magic. I just did a news interview last week that it's not magic. It is another tool in your toolbox. It's like having a freaking Dremel tool when before you were using an emery board. We're going to bring up the emery boards, Amanda. You're using an emery board before and somebody gives you a Dremel tool and you're like, hell yeah, I can actually use this shit. So that's it's a tool, but now we're working with power tools. So now we can do stuff. But if you tell me that you're on 15 milligrams and you're losing nothing, right? If you are honest to God losing nothing, now I can tell you, maybe it's your thyroid. Absolutely get it checked. You have a slow metabolism because you have a desk job where you sit in front of a computer all day and you don't get up and move. Absolutely, it's going to lower your metabolism. There are some days where I sit my butt in a chair for 16 hours doing crap on the computer. Those days do not require a lot of calories. Bottom line. So it's calorie. There's no way to get around calories in, calories out. The deal is what's increasing your metabolism, aka phentermine speed, or changing the way you use food, GLP1s, which will help you with the way you it's not just an appetite suppressant. It will help with the way you use food. Obviously, otherwise it would not mess with the PCOS and stuff. But realistically, I'm sorry, I'm very sore still, so I have to keep fidgeting because I'm dying. Everything hurts and I'm dying. Oh yeah, speaking of which, in a second, I'm going to see if I can put a sticker on my thing to talk about GLP-1s. But anyhow, and yes, you want to be higher, but at this point, if you're already that far in, you're 10 weeks in, you're like, start to think about, like Neil said, the pillars. How's your stress? Stress is usually it. Stress and sleep are usually the deal. We have 10 people watching. Why can't I get the chat open? I can't find the chat.
Yes, there's a couple. There's one on Facebook. So can a person, I think it's Colleen, get off Wegovy and go to a low-dose compound Zepbound for maintenance? Sorry if this has been asked. Yeah, you can switch meds if one works better for you. If Wegovy's working for you, you can go to the compounded version of that and see if that works for you. We can play with it. You breaking up there?
Hold on a second, Neil. You got real choppy there for a second, so I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. And I got my chat up too. Okay. Hold on. You're still your max headroom over there. Tell me, I don't know where I pulled that out, but I'm like, that was amazing. Okay, so can a person get off Wegovy and go to a low dose compound Zepbound for maintenance? Sorry, if it's been asked. First of all, never be sorry, because even if it's been asked, somebody else needs to hear it. All right, Neil, try it again.
He's
Oh yeah,
frozen.
she said Wegovy does nothing for food noise in her head.
Yeah.
Okay, now Neil's totally locked up for me. So okay, I know it's not me because everyone else is coming through.
Yeah, Neil's frozen.
Neil is in this really, really.
He's in this ponder. Yeah, he's looking over yonder. Neil's looking over
He's got a
yonder.
pencil
Okay.
thought.
Why do I keep changing meds? So Courtney changed because her insurance covers Wegovy, but not Zepbound. I change between brand name Manjaro and compounded because I always try the pharmacies that I can that we prescribe to our patients because I want to know that I want to know, period. I would never prescribe something that I think Neil's restarting. I don't want to prescribe something that I wouldn't inject into my own body. So, and I need to be able to tell patients, hey, listen, here's what I do. So that's why I change, but I have been on tirzepatide every week since July 4th, 2022. So I don't change meds, but most of the reason why people change meds is because of insurance, cost, money, moolah. Also, I've been on Manjaro for 2 months at 2.5 and now can't get 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're on Manjaro and it's approved, there's Neil.
Here he is.
Yeah, so Neil, I'm on a question, been on Manjaro for 2 months at 2.5 and now can't get 5. Yeah, the shortages are bare. And everyone's got an opinion, right? And you know what I usually say about opinions. I've only sworn once today, so I'm not going to say it. But go ahead, because I'm going to say something.
Yeah, it's tough to go on Reddit right now because that's literally all it is.
Shortages.
People are mad at Eli Lilly. People are mad at other people. Yeah, people are pretty upset that they can't. Like they've been on a month now, they can't get any more. It's rough right now. But it'll get better. You know what I mean? Like Eli Lilly wants to sell their medicine. They want people to have it. So I mean, they bought a huge plant. They have other ones that are coming up online. It's just a matter of the FDA approving them and getting stuff out to patients. But it takes time, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure that Eli Lilly saw that this was going to be big. It still takes time to get all that machinery, get
And
the
it's
certifications, get things inspected.
Yeah, I mean, it takes time, like us getting medical licenses, right? Like,
Yeah.
And that's only human stamps, frig's sake. But anyway, these guys are getting factories and sterility, and like the Novo Nordisk snafu, they get the factory up and built, and then it comes in for inspection. Like, sorry, it's dirty. What? Dirty? Like, I can't make my eyebrows do that on purpose. But anyhow, Linda's back from Scotland. Amazing. Jody, actually, I agree with Jody because she said, I think 2.5 is better than nothing. And I was on 5. So something some of our patients would do, hypothetically speaking, if this was medical advice, but it isn't. If I could only get 2.5 or my Franken dosing, if I could only get 2.5, but I could get compounded, I'd consider ordering compounded tirzepatide to supplement. So I have 5 milligram pens in the fridge, and if I need 7.5, I personally would do 5 of the pen plus 2.5 compound. And even with race inflammation, by the way, for those of you who have been sitting on the edge of your chair wondering since last week, it did not burn this time. My sugar intake was way lower. And because the pen burnt like a son of a bitch last week, and it did not burn this time. So apparently my body doesn't like sugar. Shocking. Who
And
knew?
last summer when we went through the shortages with Mujaro, and they were bad shortages then too. Eli Lilly cleared those up pretty quickly. I mean, it was a rough couple of months, but those cleared up pretty quickly. So they've done the best of the two companies at clearing up their shortages much more quickly. So I think long term, we will probably experience shortages from time to time of certain doses, but I think they're going to be the better company at cleaning those up and getting medications out.
Yeah, Tay said, do you think Manjaro is going to be available on a regular basis? I've been off for 30 days now. Yeah, like Courtney said, we think it will be. They've just got to get themselves back up and running, literally. I mean, they're still, like, think about this. Like Neil said, they don't want to lose money. They know their drugs is rocking and they want to get the money from it. They want to make the money. I mean, they funnel that money right back into research and their pockets. So they want to make it. Pebbles said, I was, which I love that, by the way, it just makes me smile. I was on Ozempic 2 milligrams. Doctor switched me to Manjaro 10. So much more food noise. First of all, if you went from 2 milligrams to 10, good on you for not dying. It won't kill you, but you just want to die. Yeah, right. That's weird. I've never heard of anyone with more food noise on Manjaro. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying you're a liar.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's interesting. It's kind of cool. I mean, like, there is a better drug, I think, for everyone. Now, maybe retatrutide will be even better for you. Maybe that'll be the winner, or the next ones, or Forglipron. I did it. Yes, I was actually looking for a list the other day and I couldn't find it. But anyway, go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, but I mean, if you have been on Ozempic for a while, it's really built up in your body. And if you've just recently switched to Mounjaro, it's going to take some time, even if you started at 10, to build up in your body. Like it's 5-day half-life. So, it's going to take a month to get up to levels where it's, at 10 milligrams to be where it technically should be.
Yeah, where you're really rocking it. Compounding pharmacy offered tirzepatide in a pill that was much cheaper. Have I heard of this? Yeah, we heard of it.
I have. I don't think anybody ever used the oral version on the one compounding pharmacy we used. And then the patients that have used the Rybelsus weren't impressed. So, but if your insurance pays for it, it's better than nothing. I would take it.
Well, it's compound, so insurance, but they said it was cheaper.
Yeah.
If you want to try it for a month, I don't know. I mean, again, it's first do no harm, right? So as long as you think as long as your provider, when I say you, I'm thinking like you and me, as long as your provider feels that it is a safe alternative. And now if it's offered by a reputable compound pharmacy, right? You're not just ordering it from Bob's Peptides. Whoever Bob is really getting the shaft when we talk about this. We got to find a different name. Let's think of a name we don't like. I don't know, but then we're going to offend people. Anyway, randos peptides out there. So don't get random peptide stores. And that's the thing, right? It needs to go through a reputable compound pharmacy that goes through regulations. It is regulated by the FDA as far as sterility, and they do testing on batch. They do batch testing. So you don't want just, you want this. This is not it's not a game. And people treat this like it's what do you call it? What was that? Hold on. Courtney will remember. Amanda, you probably did it with me too. What the hell's that? The fat burner that I'm trying to think of.
Hydroxycut?
Hydroxycut. There it is. You nailed it.
Which one? Lip Fuel, Xenadrine?
I took all the Hydroxycuts. Are you talking?
Yeah, all of them. I tried all of them because maybe it was the one in the pink bottle that was going to work, right? Anyway, this is not Hydroxycut. This is not a game. This is not something over the counter, which is probably way more dangerous than GLP-1s anyway, and we're still catching shit for it. But it's not a game, right? This is a life-altering enhancement, really. This is something we are investing in. We're investing a lot of time, a lot of money, and you're injecting it into your body. So you really need to know what the hell you're doing. So you need to line that up as best as you can. Sure, would it be great if everyone could get brand name for a reasonable cost? Abso-friggin-lutely. That would be the holy grail. We don't, we do mark up our compounding meds for a processing fee because we had to hire 4 people to process it. But if everyone could go to brand name, hell yeah, I'd be all for it. I don't care. We don't care.
Absolutely.
Maribel asked, do we think GLP-1s help with inflammation and autoimmune disorders? We don't think. We know. Because in the STEP trials, was it STEP or Surmount? I don't know, one of the trials. I should know this, given a talk in June. But the higher doses of Wegovy even, or Ozempic, don't remember, semaglutide, dropped CRP by up to 60%.
Yeah.
Like, that is friggin' incredible. Oh, so Pebbles says mostly sweet tooth. What do we know? Sugar allows us to overeat the drug. To pay for it the next day. But sugar will shut down the effect of the drug in my brain, not my body. I can overeat myself to feel sick in my stomach with my brain if I overeat sugar. It'll negate. I thought about this, and I've talked about it a lot on lives because I thought about it. It's Cadbury Mini Egg season. Because except it went from Christmas to Easter with no break. That's when you know you got issues. So, but I had to get myself off the sugar, which I could not do alone, right? I had to increase the dose. I had to up my 12 steps stuff. I did a whole bunch of crap, like a whole bunch of crap. So anyhow, so yeah, be careful with that because if you actually are eating higher levels of refined carbohydrates, aka non-nutritive cereal, varnish, sugars and stuff, candy, we need to decrease that and work on food quality to get back so the drug is doing its job.
Yeah. Start your day with 30 grams of protein. Focus on protein for that
Yeah.
day for lean cuts and see if that makes any difference in that sweet craving. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Simple. Do I know anything about Red Rock Pharmacy? So I actually talked to somebody on Reddit the other day. I think it was Reddit. I talked to a lot of people. Maybe it was Facebook. I don't know. They went through Red Rock and Hollandale, and neither of those seemed, and this is anecdotal, seemed as effective for them as brand name. But I have seen plenty of people on Red Rock because I think Mochi uses a lot of Red Rock, if I'm not mistaken. Why don't we do Red Rock? I don't know. We never looked into it. Anyway, random thought. We should probably look into it. I'll see about that. But I don't know anything about them. I have not used their product, so I cannot vouch for it. But a lot of people do, and if Mochi uses them, they got a lot of clientele. So, do we have any more advice on GLP-1s and fertility and ovulation? Yeah, be careful because you're gonna get pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, if it was me,
if it was Neil and he had ovaries,
if I went, no, I would try to get close to or near my goal weight. So I'm at a healthier weight, making it easier to get pregnant and carry through that pregnancy. Come off, be off for at least 2 months, and then switch to like a metformin. And before I get there, try to make as many changes as I can. That could be, pretty sure that I can continue while I'm off the medicine and trying to get pregnant to keep the weight somewhat normal, maybe be very successful before I get pregnant. That's what I would do.
I'm impatient as hell. I'd go off and get pregnant probably 10 pounds too heavy.
Same.
Neil's like the rational one of the bunch.
Well, it depends. Like if you've had problems getting pregnant because of your hormones are wild, you know what I mean? And you needing to lose that weight first so you don't have this huge fat mass of estrogen producing whatever. Drop it to where you're comfortable. It doesn't need to be a goal. Like drop to where you're comfortable, probably a little easier, and go from there.
Yep.
You can always go back out when we're done.
On the tube. Nancy said, I'm starting compound next week. I can't find my Manjaro 12.5 milligrams. What are the dosing for the compounds? I only have 5 for the month and I want to eat the refrigerator. Oh, I'm there with you. So you can dose compounds. Like your provider can tell you, like, hey, I've got 5. If you want to save those 5 pens for maintenance or something, you can save the 5 pens and get just straight up 12.5 or, 10. If you think 10 will work. Okay. The dosing for compounds, so they sell it by volume. No, how am I supposed to state this?
Total milligram?
They sell it by milligram.
Yeah, total milligram. So it's not like the old pharmacy that we used dosed it like a pen, but in a dose everyone pulled up the same volume. Whereas now, if you're at 15 milligrams, you're going to order 60 milligrams for the month. So that way you're doing 15 every week. If you're at 10, you order 40. If you're at 5, you order 20. So, it's literally like ordering a pound of something to divide it up between those 4 weeks. And the Manjaro was officially approved in vials, Neil. I did hear that again today.
Yeah, you saw it on the back of the thing. I just don't know when we'll get here. And even places that it is approved and they're using it are still having a shortage. So it's just, I mean, the pen is probably a big portion of that complex pen, but the medication itself is on shortage.
Yeah.
Even if they send it to people in drums, it's
right.
I'd like a drum, please.
Right. I'd like to bathe in Manjaro, please.
Yeah. Ever-ending supply.
Can I have a vat? For sure. For sure. No, you're very welcome, Kelsey. Thank you for hanging out. It's in like we've been around long enough that we've had people have babies, breastfeed, come off of breastfeeding and come back.
Yeah.
Because they're ready. Because again, I mean, you know what pregnancy hormones feel like. Sorry, Neil, you don't, but
not really. I mean, for my end, I do.
Like, don't talk to her. Like oh, don't say a word.
I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
Yeah, like my dad told me once when he said something to me pregnant, he laughed out loud, and I was like, what? He goes, I'm trying to be rational with a pregnant woman. What is wrong with me? I'm like, yeah, nailed it.
So I don't know if you answered, I think it's Colleen's question. She was the one who was talking about compounds Zepbound after coming off of Wegovy for maintenance. Wegovy did nothing for food noise. So yeah, I would absolutely switch over to tirzepatide and see where you land. It might be a super low dose just to keep your brain under control. Might be a dose or two up, especially if you're not trying to lose weight.
Yep. Yeah, that kind of brings me to my next question. What about the people, the naysayers who say, like I can't stop losing weight even though I'm on a GLP-1. Like I'm at my goal, but I can't stop losing weight, so I have to go off. What do you think of that?
I mean, it depends. If they've come down in dose and they're like the lowest dose and they're still losing weight, it might just be really potent them. First, for me, at least, I would probably start to stretch that dose out a little bit, 10, 14 days. And if I'm still losing weight, yeah, I'd probably come off. And then maybe switch to something like Rybelsus where, Greg did, where he would just kind of take it as he needed it and then kind of come off of it. Like, yep. Okay, tough weekend, or I'm going to have my menstrual cycle like coming up and I'm like ravenous, take it for that week, control it. And then
sorry, I'm just laughing. Greg didn't have that problem.
Well, he did, but in general, you know what I mean? Like he took it for some days and he needed to fuel up for training and then, right. He came off.
Yeah. Like the rest weeks, like he said, he wants to take it today. But it gives him a wicked headache, but he listened. We bought extra body armor light because he listened. How cool is that? I'm like, listen, I know what I'm freaking doing. Dude, that's what I do. I'm so excited though. Anyway.
You should have gotten a Walmart and got the one with the salt block in it.
Oh, speaking of which, I was running by an aid station, Neil, in obviously the run portion. I'm a little foggy still. And I was running by an aid station. There was a bottle on the ground of electrolyte. And I'm like, oh my God, who drank that shit running? So if you haven't seen us, Neil tried the electrolyte brand.
Not for me.
That was a hard no. It was a hard no. Now, I also tried Liquid IV because I bought a small box of the passion fruit, hoping it was like the Publix passion fruit one. It's not quite close enough. And I did post. I bought Mortal Hydration to try, and God willing, God love them, Ironman did not put just that on the course. They did that for samples, but I'm too slow, so they were all gone by the time I got there. But I did try it before the race. It's a lot of stevia.
But it looks cool. Their packaging is cool.
I know. Their packaging is so much fun.
Yeah.
I wanted to like
Gatorade
it
is
so
tired. It's the
badly.
same logo. It's been for 40 years. You know?
So anyhow, I was kind of bummed. Um, we're all great. Thank you. Thank you for that. We're a shit show for sure. But I'm okay with it. That's why I was talking to Maribel today about different practices and kind of the way we do things. And really it's the synergy of everybody in this practice that makes it what it is, which is, why we're here. Um, all right, hold on. Did we miss any questions? I think. Oh no. Shell said I'm on 2.5 tours for 3 weeks. Reduced lymphedema. No shit.
Wow.
That's incredible. And your anxiety is so much better. Oh my God. That's amazing. I had no idea it would help. I mean, lymphedema is because we're not talking lipedema. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll help in lipedema, but for lymphedema, that's huge.
Yeah. And
That's
you know what?
huge.
I totally just realized so my appetite has been really suppressed on Wegovy, but my lymphedema issue, my cording on my left arm has flared the past 2 weeks. I'm not at a sufficient dose because I've been on 7.5. I just realized that correlation. I couldn't figure out why my left arm was flaring so bad. I bet I'm not, my dose is not high enough yet.
It's interesting because it's not about weight loss, right? It's
Yeah.
about other things. And if I told you you have a chronic condition that is detrimental to the ability to do your job and you need to be on a certain dose, no one's going to well, I don't know, everyone's opinions are like assholes. We know it. Someone's going to say something. But
Yeah.
it's and I know I say this every time. It's not just about the weight and it's sure as shit
No.
not about vanity. I
No.
mean, granted, I look a
No.
whole lot better in a wetsuit now, not gonna lie. Total seal and not the navy kind. Um, yeah. I actually I bought my pictures. I bought my
Did
70.3 pictures because I was like, I think this is the last one I'm doing. I'm buying that shit.
you?
So, and I like but it's not vanity per se. It's not like oh look, I want to look better in a triathlon suit. Nobody looks freaking good in a tri kit. Well, some people do, but I certainly don't.
Doug did many years ago.
Doug. I saw a
Doug.
Doug. Thank you, sir, for not wearing a shirt on the run. Much appreciated. Needed that incentive. I know. Some of the dudes look good. Some don't. Talking about water mammals. But you know what was interesting? I heard so many people on that run. So here, okay, this is what I need to talk about because I was going to do a video on it and I didn't. I probably will. But I was on the run and I was thinking to myself, it feels good to feel good. Yes. And I was listening to these two guys talk. He's like, yeah, in the off season, I'm looking to drop about 40 pounds. And I'm like, you're not gonna be able to do it. Not when you're training. Not a chance in hell. And, I thought about this. The people that say, oh, don't go on a GLP-1, you're going to lose muscle mass. Or don't go on a GLP-1, whatever. Well, if you lose weight, you're going to lose muscle mass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it works. And I've actually seen a few people anecdotal that they have started with GLP-1s, but from the beginning were hardcore on getting that protein in and lifting. And they actually put on muscle
Oh,
during the
wow.
process. I'm like, really? I didn't know that was possible. But that being said, like I watched a lot of these people and there's a stigma, as an athlete, I can't go on a GLP-1 as an athlete. I can't take a diet drug as an athlete. And I looked out there and I thought, yes, you can. You could make your body work better. Like, guys, and it's not like, and it's not, I feel like a drug pusher, right? But it's not that. It feels good to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good. I mean, granted, that race still didn't feel great. Like, it's a friggin' half Ironman. It's not going to feel good to anybody out there. It's just going to take some of us longer than others. But to be out there and one thing I will tell you, it is a whole lot easier to sit on my bike at 50. It was 45 pounds heavy or lighter than than the peak than when I tried Ironman Texas. That my bike was actually more comfortable in aero than sitting up.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I could breathe.
Yeah.
Like, before I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't engage my quads because I couldn't it just nothing everything was all smushed together, and the nether regions fitting on a bike seat is not entertaining with 45 extra pounds, 50 extra pounds. Um, yeah, I literally thought to myself, I have no problem sitting on this bike. Holy crap, this is how these people
Yeah.
feel.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, I was like, it was incredible. And like, I'm not saying I was like all that in a bag of chips, right? Like, it was still took me 8 hours to finish that race, and I swam way off course. Um, I was swimming great too. I don't know where I was going. I wasn't sighted apparently. I was too busy swimming. Um, but that's the thing. Like, there's this stigma of, I can't take it. I'm an athlete. Okay. I mean, I don't. It's not my ass, literally. But anyway, those are my thoughts, and I just think it's important to help people understand that this isn't a vanity drug. Stop thinking of it that way.
Well, it's the shame cycle, right? There's so much shame about someone cheating or using a GLP-1, the willpower, the what have you, all the shame and the blame and the back talk. Just let people do what's best for them. I mean, I don't think I haven't heard yet from a patient who came to us and said, you know what, I haven't tried anything to lose weight, but I heard these work great and I want to lose weight. So this is the first thing I'm going to try is to get on a GLP-1. That's going to be my go-to. That's the first thing I'm going to try. We don't have people like that. I mean, the majority of people get to us, and I'd imagine other providers as well, because they have tried everything under the sun that they can possibly think of to try, and they've beaten themselves up for years to get this weight off. And despite doing all of the things and trying as hard as they can, the weight does not come off. That's how you get to us. That's how you get to a point of wanting to be on a GLP-1 or needing to be on a GLP-1.
Right. And if you are a type 2 diabetic, is that because you were heavy to begin with? Maybe, maybe not. It's not for sure. Because, we talk a lot about GLP-1s for weight loss. Um, Gabriel, I have returned. Okay, great. It's good to see you. Hold on. I gotta verify myself on TikTok. There we go. Still here, still chatting. Um, sorry, I got distracted. By everything, lots of squirrels. But Courtney, you're absolutely right that you don't find us by accident. Speaking of which, since we're at an hour, we are from AMS. Well, we're from Active Medical Solutions. To find us as a practice, you go to AMS Telehealth. You can check our site, our states on the website. If you're not in our states, we've got Nikki and Maribel. Maribel's popping in and out on TikTok on the chat as well. Maribel's our big California provider. But we've got she has other states. And Maribel, if you're still on, throw your states in the chat on TikTok because I need to put them on our website as well. Put them in a copy and paste format that I can copy and paste. But we'll put that on later. So, because the thing is, like I said, there are enough. Maribel works on push. If you like the push platform better, we work within our own system. So we don't work on push very much any longer, just because it didn't support a group practice. And as you see, we are a group of providers. There are 6 of us, 7 of us. Do we service PA? No. And funny you mentioned that. I just emailed my service because I asked them 4 weeks ago to get my Pennsylvania license in progress and never heard from them back. I'm like, are you guys still doing the thing? Because I pay you to do the thing. So the answer is no for right now. I'm trying, but I can't, I don't know. I can't get, is it possible to reverse type 2 diabetes by losing weight? Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Improves your insulin sensitivity. Because remember, type 2 diabetes isn't that your body's not making any insulin. It's your body's making a lot of insulin, but can't receive it. It's like being married. You got a lot of love out there. Just nobody's feeling it. Sorry. As I missed the disclaimer of it's not relationship advice either. Don't come here for that. It's not financial advice. It's not legal advice. It's not medical advice. And it's sure as shit not relationship advice. Sorry. That was That was really funny in my head. But it's a great example. It's not like it's not there. It's just that no one can feel it. Your body can't take it in. My brother's diabetic, and his gamer tag is. That's funny. Diabedoodles. I like that. Gabriel, is your brother a type 1 or type 2 diabetic? I'm trying to get Manjaro prescribed. I have not had one hot flash since I took it. That's interesting because I was diagnosed today as postmenopausal. I don't know. I don't have a uterus, so I'm like, I guess today's as good as day of any. But I mean, I haven't had my ovarian pain that knocks me to the ground in a little bit, so maybe I am. Who knows? But my doctor likes to go on symptomatics. Any recommendations for provider in South Carolina? Yes, Nikki Baldwin. If you go to amstelehealth.com and then click on Nikki Baldwin, it'll take you there. I know it's 2 clicks. It is hamiltontelehealth.com. I'm 99% sure. Hold on.
Pebbles is asking, what states do we cover? Can you do it?
Oh, can I do it? It is Hamilton Telehealth for South Carolina and Pennsylvania. All right, you ready? Let's do this. I gotta go. Let's see. New York, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, Texas, Virginia, Tennessee, Indiana, Arizona, Alabama, temporary hold on Louisiana, Wisconsin. That's what we do. The kind he has to stick and poke his finger for. So it could be either one. If he's a poorly controlled type 2 diabetic, he still should be pricking his finger. But if he's been doing it since he was a kid, more than likely he's a type 1 diabetic, which means his body doesn't make insulin, which means he will die without it, which means Manjaro is not his drug. Insulin is his drug. And he needs it, period. And insulin is also on shortage. I can't help that. I don't take that. You can't blame me for that one. No. Not you, Gabriel. I just mean in general, because people, oh God, I just dropped my hand on my quad. People complain that, the fat people are stealing their drugs. That's a way to put it, possible to save money on compound by ordering via 3-month package of meds. Here's the kicker. Late last year, the government said compound pharmacies were not allowed to use a best use. Is it called best use date? BUD? Is that best use?
Bud. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I know it's Bud, but what does B stand for? They cannot do it over 28 days. So it would certainly be cheaper, which we used to do that. But until the government said, nope, you got to open the vial and use it within 28 days. Now, some pharmacies, and of course they charge more because it's what they do. But some pharmacies will give you 2 vials, so it will be 2 months worth. Oh, thank you, Neil. We are in Alabama. Come see us, Pebbles. I like your butterfly. Bring the blue butterfly. I killed a lot of caterpillars this weekend on the bike. It was like Caterpillar Frogger. I felt really bad. I tried to not hit any, but they were the big fuzzy ones. I was like, sorry. Like even at 15 miles an hour, it's hard not to hit a caterpillar.
I have PTSD. When I was in Arizona, I was driving to the pool the one day, and it was like whatever caterpillar crossing. The whole road was covered in orange caterpillars. Like it was horrific. I was for miles of caterpillars.
Oh God! Okay, never mind. It could have been worse.
It was disgusting. I'm like, okay, I'm not going again this week. I'd like to this end. It was disgusting. I felt so bad.
Pebbles, you can come see us. We are at amstelehealth.com. Click on Become a Patient. We have no fees until we agree that we are a good fit.
Yep. Because you're like, oh, now some people, because we do what's called asynchronous telehealth. You get lots of FaceTime here. You get lots of FaceTime on Wednesdays if you're a patient. We're on School, which is a chat back and forth. It's an educational forum, like a private Facebook group, but without the censorship. So that's why we go over there. Not the fuzzy rug bugs. Yeah. Um, yeah, amstelehealth.com. But some people don't like the fact that we do asynchronous telehealth. We do one video visit a year, but the rest of it's all by text, and then you come hang out with us here if you want us. My friend used the wrong email to sign up. Do we take insurance? So we do not take insurance for our services. We are cash pay only. You can submit to your insurance if you'd like. We are able to do like a summary of care, which I just taught support staff how to do this week, which is pretty exciting. So we can give you that. And with insurance, so at the pharmacy, you pay the pharmacy with your insurance. So that we have nothing to do with. We are not a dispensing pharmacy. We don't make the drugs. We don't. Believe me, I'm making a lot more money if I made the drugs. But we are only cash pay for our services. Oh, you can use HSA or FSA cards as well, because you just pay with a credit card. Oh, we got filtered comments. We got filtered comments on TikTok. Took us a long time.
It's probably about the caterpillars.
How'd that happen?
Caterpillar activists out there.
True that. We're animal cruelty. Sorry, I couldn't help it. I don't think I only hit one. I avoided the rest of them. When some were already hit.
Okay, it was 20 years ago. Okay, guys, I couldn't help it.
Oh, Kentucky. That would be Nikki Baldwin. I think Maribel's in Kentucky as well. So if you go to AMS Telehealth and then click, I fixed Maribel's link, so it's not a 2-link. So it's not a pain in the ass process anymore. It's a 1-click link now for Maribel.
And then Veronica's asking, how much is tirzepatide? It depends on the state you are located in and which pharmacy you're either able to use or choose to use. For the first month, for like Empower, it starts at like $255 for the month for tirzepatide. Right value is like $200 and Links $195. So, yes. So they're all a little different. It kind of depends on your state because some pharmacies do not ship to certain states.
And then it goes up based on your dose.
Yep, because like if you're on 2.5, you technically only need 10 milligrams, which is $195. And then if you get 20 milligrams, you get 20 milligrams for $225. And thank you guys for liking my my burner is back video. I had to post because on the live when my burner died, my husband fixed the freaking burner. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yes. Oh, the tirzepatide, the cost of the tirzepatide does not include the medical fees. Medical fees for us are $89 a month. And we do a subscription model because things like this, we have a patient live that is only patients. Now it's a little safer than this. Obviously, look, we got comments filtered on the TikTok, it's a bit of a safer space with just patients. But we still like to get out there and answer some questions, as a general chat. So here we are. Lisa, GLP1 journey. All right, Lisa, since you're new and you're from Wisconsin, are you our patient? I can't tell because I don't have a last name. I'm like, wait, you joined, but wait, you're from Wisconsin. So, okay, because you have a GLP1 handle on TikTok. So I want to know what you're on. You're not our patient. Are you still if you're still in Wisconsin, you need to come over and see us. With my northern accent, sorry. I don't even know how to say Wisconsin like a normal person. I have no idea. Like, how would somebody? Oh, you're in Arizona. We're in Arizona too. Yep. So you didn't get out of it by moving to Arizona. Sometimes filters innocent comments too. Well, that's no fun. That's okay. Like I said, I almost got kicked out of my own Facebook group for talking about medicine. I'm like, I'm a friggin' doctor and it's a private Facebook group with my patients. So that's why we left. So anyhow, that's why we're on Skool, SKOOL, which is an educational platform that looks a lot like Facebook, but less. And I like Facebook. I mean, Facebook has a good reach. It gets lots of word out there. And the thing is too, I look at Facebook a lot still with like looking at the GLP-1 groups and such. And there are still patients who will ask, what is compound? What does that mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, these people still need to know there is an alternative out there. Did I get filtered? You might have. Lisa, were you one of the filtered? What did you say? Say it again.
Now we want to know.
I want to know. Yeah, because I didn't get your question. So you got to ask again. Can't believe it's whatever. I mean, unless you're going to be vulgar, then I don't know. I'm vulgar enough. 7.5. Okay, good. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
more and more start going towards compound. I read an article from a physician who was used to be against it. Was on Medscape. Used to be against it, and he's like these compounded meds aren't like what you hear about when that whole fiasco went down with the intrathecal medications. Like they're way more restrictive than they used to be. That and like when they talk about counterfeit meds, like these aren't counterfeit meds. The counterfeit ones are from Bob's Peptides that you order from China, off of Amazon, that kind of stuff. These are legit, like tirzepatide semaglutide mixed by a pharmacist who has been to school and has all kind of certifications. Like they're safe.
Yep.
So this guy was at least able to change his opinion on it and wrote a nice piece about them. So
That's pretty cool. And you said it was on Medscape?
it was on Medscape that popped up. Yeah. Almost every
Isn't
day I
that
get one
right?
that pops up about GLP-1s.
I know, right?
And we do have patients that their PCP is all in favor of GLP-1s. Their insurance won't cover it, and the PCP either can't, won't, they're not opposed to compound, but the process of ordering compounds is cumbersome. Like to have that relationship with a pharmacy, the pricing, the ordering, it can be cumbersome. I can see how if you're in primary care and you're managing high blood pressure and diabetes and hyperlipidemia and, anxiety, depression, all of the things that PCPs manage, like think of how many staff members it requires us to be able to prescribe
Mhm.
compound medications. If you're in a private practice, hiring all of those people and keeping up with that is really not feasible for a lot of people.
Or
and even if
for
they
a
work,
lot, they're going to be in a hospital system where you don't have that choice.
Right.
Like, I don't think any of the people that work in my hospital system would even be given that option. They'd be like, no,
No, they're probably not allowed.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. You
well,
have to
just think
prescribe only what's in our computer.
time wise, like even with us when we lost that one pharmacy, how much extra work that took, and or
Oh,
even before that, the one pharmacy that just was taking 4 to 6 weeks to send meds. Like no
yeah.
one has time to follow up on all that. So if you
No.
were doing it and that started happening, you would stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hold on. Okay, Lisa said she's 36 now and she had to take a call. She's back. I don't know what your prices are if you have a membership fee. So you are in Arizona. Please hold. I'm going up here. Arizona, you have tirzepatide 7.5 means you need 30 milligrams a month. We've got 380. We've got 330. We've got 340. We've got God, Arizona's freaking everywhere. Uh, we've got 350, and then we've got 470, and then and then 425 for 40 at South Lake. All of our pharmacies serve Arizona.
Must be an
Nice.
easy place to get a pharmacy license.
What the hell? Yeah. So and we do have a membership fee. So that is just for the meds and a membership. A membership is monthly medical service fee is $89 a month. And that's not like 89 plus a processing fee. We pay the processing fee from the 89. So that's not like, so if you're on Push Health, it's that fee plus 15, roughly, sometimes 10, sometimes 15, which I could never figure out why and which was which is part of the reason why we don't use that platform to charge patients any longer. I'm just not comfortable with that. And they couldn't support the group, right? I got lots of people behind me and, I couldn't do it. So anyhow, it's $89 a month plus whatever that is for the meds. Which pharmacy do we use in Texas? That was the other one. I don't know. Please hold.
Just about all of them.
Let's see. Yep. Empower is in Texas. Axtel's in Texas. That one isn't, but I don't like them anyway. Link is in Texas. Drug Crafters is in Texas. And South Lake is not.
They're expensive anyway. That's okay.
Yeah, I know. Right. My dad likes South Lake. And some people have a preference for which pharmacy works better for them. I can't. It's almost like saying, how across populations, changing the site of injection does not make a difference, but within the same patient, it does. Same thing with compounding pharmacies. It shouldn't make a friggin' difference. It's a sub-Q med, but it does. I can't help it. Some people like different pharmacies. Some people have great results with different pharmacies. Some people do not. So that's amazing. I got my 10-week bottle. Holy shit.
The other one, if
10-week
that's like a
bottle.
ramp up, like 4 weeks
Yeah.
at 2.5, 4 weeks at
True.
5, 4 weeks at 7.5, like
Yeah.
Stonegate used to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Stonegate.
I
They're so nice.
showed you the text they sent me, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
They're so nice. They're so nice. They just take. Oh, Lena. Hi, Lena. Lena might know. Lena, how do we put a sticker on the live so we know what we're talking about? Lena is my social media manager extraordinaire. Mirabelle, I have a patient. That's fantastic. I love it. Maribel probably keeps popping in and out too because she's actually working in person today. Yeah, Lena, if you can figure that out, I think you're a moderator, so I don't know. I swear to God. If you can figure that out, how I put a label, how to put a thing in there, and Jill might be listening, Faith might be listening. Anyone out there who's listening, tell me how to do that. What was I going to say? I don't know. If you want to come see us, go to amstelehealth.com. We should probably put that somewhere. Can we put that somewhere as a sticker?
Right?
We need to.
I don't know.
If we knew how to do stickers, we could.
Yeah, somebody. So, yeah, right. So, Lena, somebody said that we can put a sticker on the front of the live that tells them what they're talking about. I'm like, oh, who knew? So, yes, like a title. Yeah, like that. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a title. There is a title, but I don't know. I don't know where to see it. This is why I hire people.
Maybe just make a banner for me to hang up here.
There you go. There you go. Actually, it's funny because you can't see it. Here, you can see it on TikTok. If I go this way, I'm actually getting a decal to put on here. Hold on. Let me move this over. I'm putting a decal to put right here in the corner. So like when I use it for webinars, I can still use most of the whiteboard. But I'm going to do an AMS sticker for there. And I actually put the AMS under the people. Like, so the normal logo does this. I've had this logo for 10 years. Hey, I can make it in a square if I put the words under the people. Thanks, Maribel. It's all Maribel's idea. I'm like, huh. This is why you have a tribe, because your brain does not, your brain's pretty linear and you got to think outside of the box. You don't think you're a moderator. Hold on. Let me try something.
Oh boy.
I don't know. Manage moderator access. Hold on. Okay, you can do. Yeah, you are manage guests. I don't know. Do that too. You can do anything. Pin customized perks. I don't know. I did everything. You can do everything now, Lena. I
Do it
don't
all.
do whatever it is you do, because I can't do it. Okay. Let's see. Did we miss any comments? All right. So what we were talking about, we'll go back through this. I try to remember. Neil, is there stuff we usually go through too that we forgot? Because I always do that.
No, I think we pretty much hit everything. It was pouring in for a sec, but we got it.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of comments in the beginning. Oh, my shirt's too big. We are from Active Medical Solutions, which is a medical practice that is completely telehealth. Okay, this is so. If you have a tricycle by your name, you're a moderator. Neil, that look was classic because that's what Tana said.
I didn't recognize it as a tricycle, but okay.
It might be that.
I'm over it. I'm like, I don't. God, I feel old some days, and today is that day. I feel physically and mentally just old. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, it's good to see you. Hold on. I didn't mean to hit your name there. Anyhow, what was I gonna say? You can come see us if you're a patient. That's what some call it. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, I'm certainly calling a tricycle. Absolutely.
I like it. I
love it. It's a person with something on the right. I don't know, but I don't know, but I like the tricycle. I'm gonna go with it. No, because now that's all I can see.
Yeah.
Right. But now it's a tricycle. Damn it, it's a tricycle. Because that's amazing. Because now I can't unsee it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, what we do is we talk about lots of GLP-1 lifestyle stuff. Things that happen when you take GLP-1, some hair loss, some skin sag. There's a new
How to
line
prevent
coming
muscle
out.
loss.
Huh?
How to prevent muscle loss.
How to prevent muscle loss. Yeah. Well, and I didn't even look at my wattage from the race to look at it, but I know my peak wattage only went down 2 watts from my FTP testing. And so it went down 2 watts with losing 50 pounds. So say it's 44 pounds, 22 kilos, give or take 20 kilos. So if I was 20 kilos down and I only lost 2 watts, it's a pretty good watts to kilogram ratio at the end.
Yeah.
So when you're working on watts to kgs, and because remember, it's thrust versus weight ratio. It's how much force you produce on the bike versus carrying my fat ass over 56 miles. Makes a difference, and only losing. And just kidding. Love tricycle now. That's so funny. No, I'm telling you, but somebody needs to post. I need a tricycle emoji, but I can't. I
love it
can't
too.
seem. I can't. I don't know. Is there a tricycle emoji? The only thing I can think of is a biohazard. All right. Lisa said my provider has me doing half dose every 4 days. Oh, because of the half dose.
Oh, the half
Yeah,
life.
we have some people who want to do that.
Yeah.
So
It works well for symptom mitigation.
I still have a patient waiting for orders to come through. That's pretty funny. Lisa, where are you working? I have to work on a Friday night.
Sorry.
Friday night in the Dairy Queen Trauma Center of Excellence.
I wish you a night like mine.
Oh,
That
was
is
it
all
good?
I will say.
Oh, you had a nice night? Because the night before was not going well when I left. So
Yeah, I like really nice. Like my physician had seen the least amount of patients he had ever seen on a shift by the time I left. Like,
including COVID shifts?
well, now he probably wasn't counting those, but I mean, we were
Okay.
fighting over, clicking on patients as soon as they walked in the door.
That's him anyway.
Nisi. Hold on, Nisi's question. We've got this. No, because Nisi, you are asking my question today. So I want to start these meds so bad, but I'm a cyclist and afraid to lose too much muscle. The DQ Trauma Center. Oh yeah. So the freestanding ER that I work in is in the same plaza as where I get my nails done and a Dairy Queen. And I have landed a helicopter in that Dairy Queen parking lot to fly people out because they're dying. So, my husband made me a meme that says the Dairy Queen Trauma Center of Excellence. Because why the hell people walk into an ER in a plaza with crazy shit is beyond me. I love this. I think I have a blood clot. So come here. That sounds great. Oh, wait, you had a bleeding in the brain stroke, so I can't really anticoagulate you out here? That sounds fantastic. Good job.
But you can get ice cream.
But you know what? If you need a blizzard, I got you covered. But I don't because it closes at 9 p.m.
They close at 9?
I think
Early.
so. I think Dairy Queen closes like 9.
That's so early.
So yes, yeah. I got punted from the main. They didn't like.
You're not missing
can't-
anything.
Yeah,
can't.
you're not missing.
I work in a very hostile environment with my coworker. Yeah, me too. Look at
sorry.
Neil. Sorry, I'm half kidding. Yeah, look, we're just talking about why I got kicked out of the main, so we're just gonna let that roll. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, everything happens for a reason. Okay, back to Nisi's comment because this is important. You do not have to lose excess muscle when you're doing this. I did. I lost 28%. 28% of my weight loss was lean body mass. It's not muscle. Because I sat on my ass for 6 months because I was really freaking busy and I was just enjoying not having to fight. Let's be honest. I was just enjoying like not having to fight food all the freaking time. But if you work on strength training from day one and work on protein, which is we focus on that here. That's what we do. Neil and I are both certified nutritionists. That's what we do. I mean, I did a half Ironman Sunday, 2 days ago, 48 hours. Delayed onset muscle soreness. Hell yeah, it's today. Thank God I'm sitting down. But not really, it still aches. Everything aches. And I had a decent race. Was it my best race ever? No. Did I have my best training ever? Absolutely not. Did I have a decent race for the training? Absolutely. Did I have a great time? Absolutely. Was it only 56 miles? Yeah, only. Felt like a long way. I was pretty much done by 45. Um, so you can take these. One of our patients has done a couple of half Ironmans on them. She's PR'd a ton. She's cut like half an hour off
Wow.
because of the weight, right? I mean, you're a cyclist. It's a thrust to weight ratio. Sure, you don't want to lose your quads. Um, you don't have to. You do not have to. It's not, and you could even stay on a low dose that keeps your brain calm while allowing for all of your protein intake. We would go slow. It's just we tailor it. We don't automatically increase you because it's hey, it's week 5, time to go up to 5. Not happening. But I can tell you. So as a cyclist and as an athlete, and Courtney and Amanda know this because they've dealt with my shit. And well, Neil's heard it as well. So everyone's dealt with my shit for a long time. All the times that I needed to fuel a certain way. This is the only race I've ever gone into, only long distance race that I've ever gone into, where the week before the race, I was actually able to accomplish my pre-race fueling week. Ever.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Because I couldn't do it before. I could not do it alone. I mean, I could, I did everything like I was supposed to, which is the reason I went through the race as well as I did, because I did not fuel well during the race. Gels did not agree with me. No, I did not train with them ahead of time. I know, I hear you. Nothing new on race day except for everything. And I should have. I did not get enough sodium or calories in. I remedied the sodium issue. Thank you, Cindy. But I remedied the sodium issue, but I could not get enough calories in. I should have done something different.
But which study, Neil, you'll probably know which study it was that showed that GLP-1s are actually, in comparison to other weight loss methods, they are actually muscle sparing rather than muscle wasting.
It was a rat study, and people the rats lost less muscle mass, the ones that were on the GLP-1s than the ones that were not taking the medication. So they proved to be like kind of muscle sparing.
Yeah, I
And
wish
in my
somebody would
opinion, when I was on
actually.
semaglutide, sorry, good.
No, go ahead.
When I was on semaglutide, I focused on my protein. I trained heavy, and I don't believe I lost any muscle. I didn't lose any strength the entire time I lost my 35 pounds.
Yeah.
It went up, And towards the very end, when I was ready to, almost at my goal, I was a little bit more fatigued, but that was it. I didn't lose any strength,
Yeah,
and that's what I
your
would
body,
consider losing muscle. Then,
I mean, your body composition would not suggest that you had lost any muscle
no.
mass.
I'm sure I did a little bit, but not anything that I would notice.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. If you lost muscle mass, if you're a competitive bodybuilder, that's different. In a physique competition, that's different. If you lost muscle mass but didn't lose strength, does it matter? I mean, if you're still as functional but lighter, bonus. Like, what
Yeah.
runner wouldn't want that? What cyclist wouldn't want that? So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we talk a lot. I'm afraid I've lost a lot of muscle. I can't get the ambition to exercise. That was me.
Yep.
I spent 6 months and I went for walks maybe a couple times a week. I could not bring myself to do it. I just was like, for the first time, I was losing weight finally. And I didn't have to fight all the time. I didn't want to diet. It took me 8 months to even want to change my food quality. And it has taken me 20 months. Is that right? I don't know, give or take a year and a half to actually implement some form of decent eating. Eunice, I'm sorry. I saw your question, then I went off on a tangent. Have you noticed with your patients that most patients begin to lose most weight best on 7.5 or not? Makes me wonder if some have more metabolic damage or lazy GLP-1 receptors. I think 100% the same thing. We've had patients who have not lost until they're like 3 months on 15. Like their body's like, nope, not letting go until, like, I swear to God, like they have to like repair a bunch of shit. All right, now you can let go. And I mean, it's so slow for them, but it always works. Lena said, in order to add a title, it has to be added before the start of your live using the enhance option. I'll send you steps for next time. Fantastic. Tag Jill in that because she can make a checklist. So Lena, send that on Slack and text and do Jill and tag Jill for me.
Back to Jody's question or comment. Yeah, I had patients in the beginning that wouldn't do anything, work out, go to the gym because they didn't feel comfortable until they lost about 50 pounds. They weren't ready yet. But now would be a great time. And like you're said, just start walking, slowly move to stuff, body weight exercises. So there's lots of alternatives. You don't have to join a gym and
That's the
lift
thing,
weights
right? You
tomorrow.
got 50 extra pounds.
Yeah.
Use it. Like, do body weight stuff at home. That's still strength training. It doesn't have to be, if you do 10 push-ups a day, it's better than nothing. 10 body weight squats a day, it's better than nothing. It's that all or none phenomenon that my brain likes to do so much. It's like, well, if I can't do an hour exercise, there's no use even getting out of my chair. You do 5 minutes, it's better than nothing, right? I mean, think about it. If you do 5 usually it's Neil. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. Much appreciated. Usually it's Neil. I'll take it. That's really funny. I'm not like a hot bike or anything, but I guess I'll take it as a close second. Yeah. What the hell was I talking about? I got totally sidetracked. See, it's the YouTube comments that get me. But get your friends to share the live, Joe. Share it around. Get your friends out here. I'm telling you, I look better in a wetsuit. Better in a wetsuit than I did. Sorry, I'm slouching again because I ache very badly and I need Advil. So bad. You know what? My pee's yellow. Life is good. I was a little worried that it was going to be brown. I was like, everything hurts, but it's just sore hurt. It's just, I was talking to Garrett, who we all know. Amanda does not know Garrett. Garrett was a scribe in the ER.
About 20 years.
For about 20 years. Yeah, for a long time. He kept trying to quit and just kept coming back. But he raced and he texted me yesterday. He goes, I feel like I really pushed myself to my physical limits yesterday. I'm like, I hear you. Because now he's got a 1-year-old and
Makes a difference.
Yep. As much as you want to think, oh no, I can, no. Start a company. It'll be fun. And they said, no, I'm always doing something. So, all right, who's got GLP-1 questions? GLP-1s are drugs like semaglutide and tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Zepbound, Wegovy, Rybelsus, Ozempic are the FDA-approved ones that actually give you some weight loss. I'm so sorry. I forgot about Saxenda, the redheaded stepchild that just always gets forgotten.
And it does work for some people.
It does. And it gets and it's going generic soon. It's supposed to be, it's April. And so it's supposed, I think they postponed it till June. But I always forget those. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to Saxenda and Victoza. My bad.
We're going to take that on massive shortage as soon as it goes generic.
It will, and it may be a great option for maintenance for some people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about this, right? So we've got people on super low doses for like colitis control. What if liraglutide works at half, like they don't have to take it every day. Say they take it every 4 days or every 3 days. So, I mean, that's a kick in supply. Like that would be amazing. So
absolutely.
Yep. Or like, your lymphedema, the whatever we take it for. Imagine if this is a viable alternative.
It can be much more affordable. We'll see.
Yeah. Nancy, does an Epsom salt bath help with training and some spray magnesium? Just wondering. Some people swear by it. I take a lot of oral magnesium. I just beat the crap out of myself, frankly. I raced beyond my training, to say the least, which I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of the push. But actually last night I said, I'm like, I think I'm going to go take a bath. I'm firing up that damn hot tub later. I don't know if it's just the warm water. I have arnica massage oil I'm going to use that later. I'm going to do all the things. Like everything I have in or on, it's all going. I don't care if it's anecdotal. I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Road racing or gravel? All road. I am a road. I'm all road. Caterpillars on the road. Yeah, I'm only a road. And I
Truth be
do.
told, we're indoor trainer only.
I was gonna
Don't
say.
race.
I was gonna say 99% is indoor, aka road, which is that's why I outraced my training. My training was not. People get killed around here on bikes, which is I'm just too nervous to ride now.
That's why I stick to the dirt.
Yeah, that's Greg does the same. Yeah, he'll do 99% of his training. Like he'll ride indoors for like the training part, but like the bike handling skills, he's all outside. Plus it makes him happy, which means I'm happy. So let's see. Oh yes, thank you for liking the live, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for liking and sharing the live helps. If we missed any questions, please I'm sorry we did not mean to. But ask away. We got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll get blocked by TikTok, so feel free to ask them again.
Yeah, we don't do it on
Weirdly.
purpose. Yeah, unless you're being a jerk, then we'll do it again because who knows? It's fine. We're okay with that. All right. I can't. I'm trying to get comfortable. It's been so windy here in Kansas. I've been virtual for a bit, but I ride gravel and mountain bikes. That's awesome. No, and I you know, I honestly think try it, man. Like I'm telling you, if you have food noise, especially, you're welcome, Nancy. If you have food noise, so if you're like, well, what's food noise? If you have to ask, you don't know. It's that constant chatter that won't shut up in your brain about like that ice cream that's downstairs. Um, I don't have any by design. My husband's got some though, but it's not mine. And like, I'm not bothered by it because it's not mine, right? If I don't have control over that food noise, I don't care whose it is, it's going down. So, I've got Hershey bars downstairs for s'mores. It's not mine. It's fine. Not a big deal. Um, Nutella out of the jar. I got that in the house. It doesn't bother me right now. Now, if I start eating it, like I said, the sugar will negate the drug. So the food noise comes back with a vengeance. And some people don't need a very high dose. I have friends who are on like 1.25 every 10 days. Like they don't need a high dose and it controls her food noise, which is amazing. And she knows when shit gets out of control. Yeah, pink iguana. I didn't know that's food noise. I didn't know that's what it was until I had started. I didn't either.
Nope.
Like, because Courtney went first. Well, Reed technically went first.
Yeah.
And then Courtney tried it and I was just dying. So I got to do something. And for me, literally 6 hours later, I was like, what the hell's going on? Like I had total food neutrality hours after this injection. I've been striving for that. I've been in Overeaters Anonymous. It's not anonymous if I write myself out, okay? Or it's not a violation of anonymity if I write myself out. And I for 20 years now, I looked it up. 20 years. And I had no idea. And I'm not saying OA doesn't work because OA is not about the food. OA is about living without the food. So that's yeah, it's just been a godsend. And these guys have seen me when I'm not under control. When my food is not under control. Well, I started eating like a normal human being, a normie, so to speak. And I lost 3 pounds because it was all inflammation. I'm back up. No doctor ever mentioned food noise to me. Yeah, no, you know what? Because they don't think they knew. I didn't know.
No, I didn't know that other people didn't have it. I thought we all had that. I didn't know.
Yeah, I thought it was just a thing.
Yeah.
And and the doctors who say, because there are healthcare providers out there who will say, or health coaches or whatever, who will say you just need to change the way you eat. I get that. I'm not saying that's not right. It is right as a component of it, but I couldn't. And I had all the knowledge in the freaking world. Couldn't do it. I had a fair amount of willpower too. I can push myself through some hard things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thought food noise was normal.
Yeah.
It's not. Come to find out. It's not.
I think
Lena,
I
or
think that was my favorite line from the Oprah special where she was like, "Is this how you guys have been living all this
Yeah.
time?"
Right. Yeah.
she's like, I thought y'all all had this willpower. Y'all
Yeah.
weren't
Yeah.
even thinking about the food.
Yeah. She's like, you weren't thinking about the bread.
I mean, I
as,
just
as she's eating her meal from a gourmet chef. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
I know, right?
But that
Yeah.
doesn't exempt her from being tortured in her head
Yeah.
and walking her little butt
No,
back to the
no,
kitchen and
but
getting her her food.
everybody else trying to eat like plain chicken breast and some white rice is very different than the chicken
Right.
breast that's made by the chef along with the rice with
I
like all
100%
kinds of
agree. But
seasons and spices that was marinated for 24 hours. Very
Yeah.
she
different.
clearly fought her own demons for many
Yeah.
years and lost.
My
And
favorite was when she said, when the doctors said how long the GLP-1s had been around,
I
and
know.
she was going to the doctor, to the clinic that
I've
knew
been
all
going
this.
to the Cleveland Clinic.
She's like, you
What the hell
guys
you
have
been
watched.
doing?
She's like, you
Yeah.
guys have watched me. I've been public about this weight struggle for how many decades, and you didn't tell me? Like, what?
Yeah,
And
you know that primary was like, oh shit.
yeah, but it's the same for most of us. I mean, we go into our
Yeah.
doctor's office and they saw for years, and then even after the GLP-1s did get, FDA approved for weight loss, how many PCPs bring it up to you? Hey, I've got this medication that could really help you. Um,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
part of it too, a lot of the PCPs can't do prior authorizations because they don't have the staff.
right.
And it's against common policy to charge for a prior authorization. People get pissed. I've had friends of spouses of friends. What do you mean you charge for prior authorization? Go to your primary. See how go. I don't. If I'm not the right provider for you, go somewhere else. There's plenty out there.
Well,
But
the
they're not
difference
going to
is
be
they
able to do
just don't do it.
it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They can't.
And even if they do, they're not going to do an appeal.
Right.
No. And you're going to
Right.
have to do an appeal. It never gets done the first time.
Nope. Nope.
Aw, thank you. My doctor has never told me a lot of what Dr. Mo tells us. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm also, some people don't like that. Oh, hi, team. What is the difference between the L-carnitine versus the B12 and the trizepatide compounds? Nothing. It just depends on the
Choose
pharmacy.
based on whichever one is the best price for you, and you trust that pharmacy.
Yeah.
Unless you have some kind of condition where you cannot take B12, that would be the only other reason I would say decide that way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. The amount that they put in of the additive is so little that it's truly not going to make much of a difference. It is to help not break trademark rules and to make a new medication in and of itself.
Yep. And Nancy said food's hard to deal with. Unlike an alcoholic, we deal with our addiction 3 times a day. An interesting thing, an alcoholic still has to perform the action of drinking liquids, though. They just can't drink certain kind of liquids. So they don't get the. So now think about this. Think about me and sugar and volume. I realized I overate last week one day, like kind of on purpose because I was trying to fuel for this race. And I overate and I wanted to keep eating. The phenomenon of craving. Because when I'm a volume and it's a volume of sugar problem. It's a volume and sugar problem. So if I overeat, it triggers me to want more. And the only way for me to continue eating is if I eat sugar. So if I'm in a not good brain space, I will reach for sugar because it allows me to binge even on the drug. So that's why I do all the other things because I have to. No, I don't have to. I want to. This isn't a program for those of us who need it. It's a program for those of us who are going to do it. So much like same with our 5 pillars, right? I'm like the remedial person, right? I need OA, I need therapy, I need us, I need the pillars, I need the meds, I need like the protein shakes, I need the recipes, I need all the things. But An alcoholic still, like, I can't eat sugar. I can't eat certain volumes of sugar. An alcoholic cannot drink certain things. So, but they still have to drink water, still have to drink some body armor, still have to do the action of drinking. So it's been said that, it's they didn't get off easy. But it is easier to say I don't drink alcohol than I don't eat food. But by saying I don't eat sugar, I'm not willing to go there just yet. I don't eat candy. I'm willing to go there because that's kind of a gateway drug for me. So, and it's really unnecessary. So I'm not willing to go there. So,
I mean,
um,
I think any addiction is difficult to deal with, whether it's food or alcohol or heroin. It
Agreed.
doesn't
Gambling,
matter.
sex,
Yeah,
validation, whatever you want. It
they're all
sucks.
hard.
All of it fucking sucks. Sorry, TikTok. But it does. It's terrible. Like it's a horrible beast. And I actually sent a video that was sent to me to someone yesterday because she's got a family member dealing with a spouse with addiction. She's having a hell of a time, and it's a video. I should post it somewhere. But I mean, if you look at it, it's about alcohol, but it's about addiction and how hard it is because you will choose your addiction over your next breath.
Hmm.
People that are in the throes of addiction that has them by the throat will choose their drug of choice over the life of a loved one.
Yep.
And those of you who don't have that experience, good on you. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like. And you can say, well, yours is just food. Mm, it's never a just. It's never just. Addiction is addiction, no matter how you slice it. And I feel for everyone out there who ever has those thoughts because God bless. It's a shitty place to be, right? And when I look back at the way I acted in my disease, that's also why I work so hard to not be in my disease because I'm a jerk to my family. I'm a jerk to my kid. I'm a jerk. I'm just a jerk, right? I'm just a jerk. And I don't like that because then it's just like Courtney was saying earlier, it's the shame cycle because you hate who you are. Why can't I stop eating this? Why am I so abnormal? And like, why can't I do this? What is wrong with me? Well, guess what? You're an addict or you're not. Maybe you just got bad habits, right? Either way, we can fix both. I can't fix the addict part. You got to do that shit yourself. But I can at
When
least give you some Viktor Frankl space between stimulus and response with a drug. Have you read any studies have you guys had seen any more studies on addiction with the GLP1s?
not yet.
I haven't seen any more come out, but I know because they're working on them. I'm like, let her roll. Once a week injection to save my life. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, for real.
Without a doubt. So just know that you guys aren't alone out there. We talk about GLP-1s, but we really talk about the big stuff because, I mean, that's it. Nancy, been sober 38 years and I find the food. You know what? That's actually so funny you say that because a ton of people in my groups, then they'll tell me flat out, I could give up alcohol. I'm done. I was done. I'm done. I cannot get off the freaking food. And we talk about it a lot because I have a small group big book study. Say that 5 times fast. Um, and I think at least half of them are alcoholics or Al-Anon, one of the two. But almost everyone's got a second addiction. But when people get bariatric surgery, there's a lot of addiction transference
Mhm.
because they can't use food volume any longer. How do you get a high? They go to alcohol because they can. Yeah, food is a second addiction. So yeah, alcohol is my second. Food is my first. I can't do either. Validation's up there. People pleasing, that one's a good one. That one's a great one. That one's actually, if I'm being honest, people pleasing is my first. And that's because that's been the last bastion. Even when my food's under control, I have a real hard time. Yeah, we'll talk about the deep thing. I get it. I get it. And you're never alone, right? Because, like, you're not alone. and we feel like we're alone, right? We feel, and that's why we do what we do at AMS, because it's why we do public lives. It's why we do patient lives, because every Wednesday night you can come to happy hour Wednesday nights. And I totally like calling it happy hour, by the way, because it is happy hour and there's no hangover. It's beautiful. I mean, I don't know what you're doing at home. Maybe there's a hangover. I don't know. I don't know what's in your damn water bottle. It's not my point to police, but you're gonna get pancreatitis if you're on a GLP-1. Don't do that. Um, more than likely. So, we got all kinds of our old timers here. Thank you very much for coming. No, we're just talking about GLP-1s and addiction research, and we've had people stop biting their nails. What was the one with the hair thing? Oh, picking. We've had people stop picking on GLP-1s, biting nails, eating, smoking. We've had quite a few stop smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. If you could take a GLP-1 once a week and not smoke.
Yeah, wow.
Like, done. I don't think about this. I don't even know how much cigarettes cost. I have no idea.
A lot. They're so expensive.
So, I mean, think about how much. Why don't they market it for that?
Yeah, because if someone can afford a cigarette habit, they can definitely afford a GLP-1 if they give up their cigarette habit. I mean, the last time I looked, I think they were up to like over $10 a pack for most of them.
Yeah, depends on the brand. Like it's like 5 to 8 to 10. So even if you just call it 5 and they smoke a pack a day,
yeah,
they can afford a compounded GLP-1.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're pretty close to it.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. So you're saying you can't drink on GLPs? Funny you asked that. We're not saying that. We're saying moderation, and not the American version or British version or Irish version or Scottish version or Canadian version of moderation.
That's not the French version.
Definitely not the French version. Okay, there you go. Never mind. You know what? We're all kind of all screwed.
Yeah.
The only pancreatitis cases we have seen, this is anecdotal, right? This is not medical advice, in our practice of over 4,000 patients that have come through. I wish we kept all of them. I'm just saying. So if you want to come back and see us, because I feel bad for the people that we lost. We're better now. The only pancreatitis we've seen are in heavy drinkers.
Yep. So yes, you can drink on them. I mean, if you're paying a lot of money for a weight loss drug, probably not the best idea to drink on them. It's kind of counterproductive. You're going to have to burn off that alcohol calories before you burn off fat, and it's going to kind of derail your progress. And both things can increase your risk of getting pancreatitis. So why do 2 of them?
Yeah, that's a great point.
At the end of the day, it has 0 nutritional value, and it's poison. That's simple as it gets when you think about what it actually is.
Right. It is. I wish you guys were in Massachusetts. Mindy is in Massachusetts. So is Nikki. You're like, who the hell's Mindy? Mindy is a friend in Massachusetts, and Lord knows I need her link on my site, but she's not there. Mindy and I started at the same time. Melinda Curtin. She's on Push Health at Curtin, MCURTIN. Or Nikki is available at HamiltonTelehealth.com. She's got you. And Nikki and I, we actually do a podcast together on the providerside.com and the patientside.com. Right now we're just doing the provider side because we just got lots of stuff to talk about. But so if you want to see her face, you can go to either one of those podcasts and check her out. But it makes it feel, but it makes it feel good. You know what? That's what drugs do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sugar does. That's why I eat it. It's why, it's my drug of choice, man. It's escape. I mean, my plan of eating right now, what time is it? Like 1 minute. My plan of eating involves when I eat, I can't read. We talked about this with the cereal box. This is what my husband actually asked me. Exactly what you asked me last time, Neil. Did you read the cereal box? No, I threw out the cereal box, so I couldn't read it. I literally threw out the cereal box because my plan of eating involves not reading, not listening to YouTube, not listening to an audiobook, not doing work. When I eat, I eat. I can interact with people. So if I'm talking with someone, I can do that. Or if I'm eating with someone, I can do that if it's social. But it's funny because I make my family eat with me. Because I'm like, guys, I'm freaking bored. Like, Come eat with me. It's pretty sad, but it's me. That is me. Oh, but Nancy, come to us. AMSpublicgroup.com is on Facebook, so you can come hang out with us and have interaction. Lena's a moderator over there as well, and we're all on there, so you can come over, hang out. And then we do this every Tuesday. You know where to find us. So we're going to call it a day, wind this down, and we'll see you next. Oh, that sounds terrible. We'll see you next week. What's the Facebook name again? It is AMSpublicgroup.com. AMS is Active Medical Solutions. That's our medical practice. So AMSpublicgroup.com, or if you go to AMS Telehealth, all the links are on there too. So we'll see you there. So here we'll end on